Welcome to episode 9, Alternative Facts Chicago podcast. This is Bobby. I'm with my boy B Hun. How you doing, B?
We are almost to episode 10. This is a monumental day. One more to go. Who would ever thought that we started this in February, we'd be almost 10 episodes in come June. And we were popping out here, B. It's doing great, right?
Yeah, 10 episode, and we're ranked in iTunes.
Still.
We are, gaining, a lot of followers on Twitter, Instagram. And we're getting a bunch of reviews.
Still.
So thank you to all our fans. We really appreciate it. I mean, we love you guys. And just thank you so much for supporting us.
And for all the doubters that didn't think that we would make it.
People were laughing at us.
Yeah, it was funny. A lot of people thought when we would start a podcast that, they thought, what are you guys doing? It's not going to ever work. And we're still here 9 episodes later, growing. We're ranked. We've had some, NBC Sports Radio, a lot of guest appearances, and this is just only the beginning. So, the sky is the limit for us. It's very impressive.
Exactly. And, just to let you guys know, we have a couple of, special surprises coming in the next couple of months with some cool guests. And we just can't wait to, be able to officially announce it. So just be ready.
It's coming soon. But before we get into our topics, we got a lot of great things to discuss. New sponsorship time.
Oh,
it is still blowing up for the boys.
New sponsor.
This portion of the podcast is sponsored by FireJeffSessions.com. Anybody that supports medical cannabis, please visit FireJeffSessions.com and buy a t-shirt where the proceeds go towards getting our Attorney General who hates cannabis out of office. Reminder that it's FireJeffSessions.com. Shout out to Quantum 9, our guy Michael Mays. He just recently was in New York and won Entrepreneur of the Year at the American Business Awards, our very first guest. So that just shows the level of type of people that we bring on this show, and it's only going to get better and better. Shouts out to Michael Mays. Congratulations, buddy.
He's blowing up right now, man. Shout out to Mike. He's a good guy. He deserves all the success.
Definitely. And recently, just this past week, we were on the D and Davis show. Right here in downtown Chicago to discuss all Chicago sports. We talked about some Detroit sports. We also talked about Tampa Bay sports, your hometown, Bobby. So it was a great hour discussion. Tell me a little bit more about that. How was that for you, B?
No, it was cool. Like, those guys, they were just so knowledgeable about sports. I just came in there. I know I'm knowledgeable about sports, but, just intimidating when it's their platform and they eat, breathe, sleep sports. So,
right.
Just coming in there, I was kind of nervous. But then, once we got into the show, it kind of felt like, we were just at a barbershop just chopping it up. So I thought that was just super cool. And, just to kind of tell our backstory about how we got together and to be able to talk about our home teams and just Chicago, it was such a dope experience. Like, how did you feel about it all?
Yeah, they were good guys. The Mons, they have a good show. Very reputable. You can tell what they do is on point, each and every single episode that they have. So they have a podcast as well, too, but they also have, a live actual radio show. So, they reached out, we kind of put some things together. We're able to, put a time so we can go last Saturday, have a guest appearance, and just talk an hour, for strictly sports. And not just Chicago sports. Obviously we talked about the Chicago Bulls, what happened with Jimmy Butler, but it was just cool to talk about Detroit sports, where the city is, where I'm from. You with Tampa sports, with football, where you're from as well, too. Just good all-around guys. So it's coming up soon. We will have them on our podcast as well. We're going to put some details together. They're good guys to know, but make sure you check out the D and Davis show on Chicago Sportsland Radio. Good people, and we can't wait to do work with them in the future.
Yep, absolutely, man. They I kind of just wish that they can just get like a bigger platform.
Definitely,
they were just their chemistry was awesome.
Yep,
like it just vibe well. They're knowledgeable guys, so. I definitely think their time is coming up. So
definitely, shouts out to Ken too, another co-host on that show. We'll be doing some work here soon as well.
Good guys. All right. So also, just to let you guys know, we are looking for a third co-host.
Possibly.
Yeah, maybe. We just kind of felt like, we've grown so much, and, a lot of our fans have been telling us that, they're trying to hear more of a feminine energy. They want to have more of that within our show. So
definitely.
So I think we're looking to add like a woman who has a great voice, like in terms of opinions, and also a great voice and just great personality who can just kind of come in there that can keep up with us and that just knows a little bit about everything. So, we're definitely looking out for that. So for anyone who's interested or who hears this or who might have a friend, please contact us at alternativeeffectchicago@gmail.com. Just send us like your, resume or whatever profile you might have. And, we would love to kind of see what we can do about possibly bringing on a third person. So.
Absolutely. I think it will be a solid added element to our show. Bobby and I, we do a great job. The guests we bring on, we do a great job. But I think it's time to spice it up a little bit, with the great, female presence. So, but they have to be able to hang with us. Bobby and I can go all day. So anyone that keeps up with mainstream topics, whether it be music, politics, anything in the mainstream culture, sports as well, if you think you can hang with the kids, reach out to us. Like you said, alternativeeffectchicago@gmail.com. We'll be making posts out soon on Facebook, Twitter, social media. We have some other ideas about reaching out to some schools in the area as well too. So spread the word. If you think you know of someone who can hang with the crew, definitely make sure they reach out to us. But that's something we're looking at to do in the the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Here. So let's go ahead and let's pay some bills real quick.
Absolutely. So right now, one of our guys, Chris, who works for Seabreeze Building Services. Good guy to city to know. This segment of the show is brought to you by Seabreeze Building Services, managing and maintaining over 15 homeowner associations across the Chicagoland area. If you live in an HOA and you're looking for a new manager or a renovation company, go out and check them out at seabreezebuildings.com. We will provide the link below in the description, as we did at last episode. My guy Chris, good people to know. Make sure you check him out. And he can hook you up with your next place to live here in the city of Chicago. We're always doing it for the city of Chicago. And reminder, 50% of our proceeds always go out to the Chicago Public Schools. Got to give back to our city, so never forget that as well.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, I can't wait. Like I said last episode, I feel like I just need to hit him up because I know that he has a bunch of contacts in that industry, and those guys do such a good job in just finding people places. So he's definitely the first text I'm sending.
He's good people. And shouts out to Evan Marshall last week who came on the show. High fashion man. He killed it last week.
Oh, he's
very knowledgeable. He's plugged into the city with high fashion. Just knows a lot of people. So you did a great job. And anytime you want to go back on the show, I think in the fall we're going to get him back on here for Fashion Week coming up later this year.
Yeah.
So shouts out to Evan Marshall. Make sure you check him out on all his social media accounts. Check out episode 8 if you missed it. He really did a great job.
Yeah, well, we got a huge response from that episode. I was looking at the numbers on iTunes and SoundCloud and and then also all the emails that we've gotten. People were really it was very positive. So,
they were impressed. He did a good job.
Yeah, he did a great job. So Evan, he is definitely a fan of Alternative Facts Chicago, and we'll definitely talk to him soon for New York Fashion Week.
Absolutely, man. First, normally we always start off our show talking about music or about sports. We do a lot of sports first. First of all, I think we're going to switch it up today. We need to talk about some television. And for Bobby and I, we're huge fans of the show, and it's premiering this week. And for those of you who don't like, you need to get up on it. It's been on for many, many years. Classic show on CBS. It's Big Brother 19. It is starting. What are your thoughts on that, B? I love the summertime just for the fact that this show comes on and it is back. What's your thoughts on that, B?
It's one of those shows that I grew up watching. I think season 1, season 2, when the women were wearing those spongy platform shoes,
right?
And the guys were wearing those Hawaiian shirts. So, it's one of my favorite shows of all time. I watch it religiously every year. My favorite group is Chilltown.
Oh yeah,
all the time. I love Mike Boogie. I love Will, and I'm just happy to have it back, and I'm excited about the season. Everyone looks attractive. I feel like the cast has gotten a lot more attractive over the years. And this cast, attractive group of people, they look interesting. I don't know much about their personalities. We're going to check it out tonight, once we leave the studio here. But I'm excited about this season because I felt like last season was really solid. It was good. And they did the internet season, which
I watched that.
I didn't watch it.
That was trash.
Yeah, it was trash. I wasn't going to pay for it, just to keep it a buck. But so we could say that was just kind of like a non-relevant season. But this season, I'm super excited about. I felt like Julie Chen, she's amazing. I love CBS. like this has been their most consistent show, and I'm just excited about what twist might happen this year. I'm excited about Zingbot.
The man.
I'm excited. Hopefully they bring in like an old player from past seasons. Like the motto of the show is expect the unexpected.
Oh, yeah.
So I think this season's going to be lit. What are your thoughts?
I think so too. And I was looking at the cast and kind of reading some of their bios. Yeah, I think this cast is pretty dope, at least on paper. Obviously, we'll see once the season starts as well. What they've done over the years is you can always tell they seem to model like the type of person that they're always looking for. They'll have a pretty white boy. They'll have the nerdy white guy. They'll definitely have a lot of pretty white girls as well. They'll have one or two black guy. They'll have a black girl as well. So they always fit the stereotypical what the show is going to look like. They have gotten like more attractive over the years, so that's fine too as well. Just from kind of looking at the cast, I think it seems like they have a lot of dynamic personalities, people in their background as well too, and I guess to give some early favorites, I see this guy Cody. He looks like he might be a little dangerous. This guy Josh, he seems like he might be the type of guy that might talk. Josh Martinez might talk him a little bit too much and might get kicked off very soon. There's always that one guy. There's that one guy from a couple of seasons ago. He could have made it very far, but he talked too much and got kicked out.
Oh, that was Devin.
Yeah, Devin. That guy, man.
Devin daughter.
Yeah, I wonder what Devin's doing nowadays, man. He had the juice back then and he blew it. He talked too much. This guy Cameron Hurd, he seems like the nerdy white guy that'll be, won't seem dangerous at first, but might make it to the end because they always have someone like that on that season. The thing I like about this show is it's very unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. There are a lot of people that are Survivor fans. I'm not really a Survivor fan. I've always been a Big Brother fan. I think it's a good show. If you haven't checked it out, you definitely need to do so. And one of these days, myself or Bobby, I think we should definitely try out again and get on the show. I know you did a few years back, but hey, your time's coming.
Hey man, it's coming.
Your time's coming.
It's cutthroat because I feel like when I tried out for it and I was with Haley. We went out there. It was fun. Like I had no expectations, but I did take a picture with Andy Herron.
Oh yeah,
who's from Chicago and he won Big Brother. And
shouts out to Andy.
And then Helen from that season was actually there too. And I made it on television. I was on CBS News. It was one of those. It was a great experience in trying out for it, but I just know that. It was just like I was in a room with 4 or 5 other people, and they had the casting director there, and it was just like it was dog eat dog. Like you could barely talk. I had like 30 seconds to say my piece, and then after that, good luck speaking up again.
Right.
So I just feel like if I ever had the opportunity again, I'm definitely going to know how to kind of approach it. And I think, it might get on. And who knows, if they do a double competition, me and B, man, we might hop on there for the culture. And just,
hop on for Alternative Fact Chicago and get on there and just make some money.
Act like we won't know each other. And at the end of it, just like...
just scheme our whole way.
Everybody out.
We'll end up first and second, and we'll split the money, split the winnings.
Exactly.
No, it's a good show, though. I know we got a lot of group of friends that watch it. Our guy Steve Sumter, Andrea watches it. My girlfriend Elise watches it as well too. So I know a lot of people. Haley watches it too. So great show. Starts tonight. We both have a DVR. We'll definitely be watching it later. Make sure you check out Big Brother if you haven't. And also in regards to reality television, I haven't been keeping up with The Bachelorette as much, and not that I ever really would, but it seems to be a lot of Chicago cats on there doing some very skeptical and shady things, and it's kind of giving the city a bad rap. If you've been keeping up with it, it's one guy they were talking about that's just kind of, being, a talkative, a gossiper. Come on, man, it's Chicago. What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I know. He's like some CEO of some company, allegedly, and yeah, he's just been giving us a bad name, talking to like the other guys, gossiping, telling on other guys, and just basically just being very non-honorable. So don't did she vote this guy out?
I don't even know if he's still even on there, man. Probably not from where she is. She doesn't seem like she would really rock like that, and we can't rock with that either in the city of Chicago. You got to get it together.
Yeah, so
bro.
and this guy, like I said, I haven't been keeping up the show, just to be 100% honest with you guys.
Of course we don't.
But at the same time, I heard he was from Chicago, so whoever this guy is, he does represent Chicago just to the nation, America, and I hope she got rid of him because we don't pillow talk at all whatsoever.
Hey, we need to talk about that time. Why do a lot of guys pillow talk? I know you're out there and you're listening.
Yeah.
Don't feel guilty if you know we're talking about you. Yeah, a lot of guys pillow talk.
I think they do it just because they're feeling self-conscious about what they can do, how they can hold down a relationship. So, they'll try to sully or tarnish another guy's name. But that's just the wrong way to do it. You need to worry about yourself and handle your business.
Absolutely.
And everything's going to be taken care of on the back end. But he does not represent Chicago. Chicago guys are super cool. We're chill. Some D-bags here and there. But overall, I would say, we're some of the best guys in the world. So just so America knows.
Yeah, to an extent, I will agree with that. There are some D-bags in the city. It's a very single-led city, if that's even a word. I probably just totally made it up. It's probably really not. But a lot of guys, there's a ton of dudes in the city, but there's a lot of beautiful women, good women, with some head on their shoulders, just looking to make a way for themselves. So all those guys pillow talking, please stop it. Yes. Worry about your own. Learn something from this today. It gets you nowhere hating on the next man. But for Bachelorette, I don't know how many Chicago dudes are on anymore. So for all the women that actually listen to the show, maybe tweet us, message us, email us, send us a Facebook message, and let us know if any Chicago guys are still on here, because I'm not 100% aware. But I just wanted to make light of that guy, who's putting a bad rap.
That clown,
for the city of
we're not
Chicago.
going to give him a platform, so we won't say his name.
Yeah, absolutely. He was almost Clown of the Week worthy for that, though, so you got to chill out there.
Absolutely.
And one show that I love, the MTV Real World, the whole season, the whole franchise. I know you haven't necessarily been watching it, but coming up soon, I think starts in early or mid-July. They have their MTV, the challenge, their 30th episode, their 30th season is going to be starting, and it seems like they have all the big dogs coming back. From CT, who's an all-time legend, Darrell, who's an all-time legend, Johnny Bananas, who's won, I think, the most challenges of anyone who's ever been on the show. Just my guy Leroy, who is from who's from Michigan, who lived there for a while, who knows my guy Brandon as well too. That show, and I know a lot of people watch it, some don't, but man, that show still gets me. I love it. It's a lot of drama. It's just a good time. The whole franchise is just dope.
What's your favorite season of MTV Real World?
Oh man, but I gotta go back. I'm a throwback, so I'm gonna go way back to the Las Vegas season. Remember when they had Alton way back when we were probably back in high school. This is a while ago.
Was it that guy Joey? Was that guy Joey in there?
Joey was in. I think he was the one in Hollywood. I think he ended up passing away. Remember, but he was from Chicago.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I would say my favorite season was Austin, when they had Wes and Nehemiah, and then I think Joanna. Yep. Joanna was back. I just remember that season that was my favorite season. I was a junior in high school.
That's when you used to watch it.
Oh yeah, I remember them guys. They had the drawer full of numbers.
Oh yeah, remember that?
Yeah, man. They
didn't have no phones. I liked the San Diego season with my guy Brad. Brad was sweet. They had Cameron on the show. They had that one Asian girl who's famous. She's in a lot of movies and TV shows. I can't think of her name right now.
Oh yeah,
remember her?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh yeah, I don't remember her name, but I know her. I remember her face.
Definitely. Yeah. And more recent, my guy Corey, who's from Grand Rapids. So shouts out to Corey. If he ever hears this, he's always on these shows as well too. The biggest thing I was wondering is it seems like, and I'm not 100% sure. So if send us a comment. Are they still even doing MTV The Real World? Because what I was heard is, I don't know if you keep up with on MTV, they have that show called Are You the One now, and they put a lot of those cast members on the challenge after that too. So I'm not even sure. They've done a couple challenges since, and no new season of The Real World. So is the Real World franchise over? Are they doing away with the show, or what's going on there? Do you know?
Nah, man. I think it's still relevant. I think if anything, they just need to try different cities.
Definitely.
Or even try Real World in some European country.
That's what I think you do.
Yeah, and just bring in a different element to it. And I think, because that's with anything, you always got to rebrand. Most major companies, they rebrand every 5 to 10 years.
Right.
So I think if Real World goes through that rebranding, then they'll be in a position to where they'll be able to kind of keep their core audience. And we've been watching it forever, and they've been around since the mid-90s.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time.
For a long time. So I think if they keep doing that and just keep on adding different elements to the show, they'll be around, and they're not going anywhere. But Are You the One is actually, I like that show.
I've seen a few seasons of it. I did watch the last one. I think they had another special, was Are You the One? Not like Second Chances or something like that.
These people, they were in Australia.
Yeah, doing challenges or something.
I was watching it. That was dope, man. Yeah, and the light skin, because I think they had that light skin chick who was there. She was actually funny. I wish I remember her name. I suck with names, but she was a character, and then It was some dude who was like super jealous, and he kind of like Klay Thompson. And,
he was kind of like a sucker though.
Yeah. They had the Johnny Bravo looking guy.
They always fit the mold on that show.
Yeah. They do a good job of casting.
Yeah, but Real World, what they've been doing lately is each season they'll have like a different type of show. Like they'll have their exes on, they'll bring like their family members on. Like the last season that they had, my guy from Chicago, he had like his ex best friend. Like they had him living in the house, so they try to like keep it like switch it up a little bit to like keep people engaged. But like you said, I think going overseas might be that next added element that they're missing right now. But yeah, shouts out to the Real World franchise, all of that. It's good stuff.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and real quick before we get off of Real World, the Chicago season, who's that guy that never got girls, but he had the MTV Real World clout.
He did. I can't think of his name. I'm gonna look him up on Twitter.
He had the Gucci belt on. He had the clout, but he just had like no.
He did, man. Oh man, I remember the season that they were here recently. We saw him at like Castaways a couple times. I think my guy Tony was on there.
He weren't pulling no brides.
No, I remember, like at all, like ever. But he seemed like he was a cool dude. I got to meet him. So yeah, I forgot. It was like 2 or 3 years ago they were here. Shouts out to the Real World franchise, man, for sure.
Yeah, all right, awesome.
What's our one show we watched still in Chicago?
So Married at First Sight. It's my favorite show right now. And, just kind of give you guys a quick update. Anthony, D'Amato, super cool guy. I think you went to school with him.
Anthony D'Amico.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, D'Amico. So,
yeah, my guy. Shouts out Fire Up Chips. Central Michigan. He's a good dude.
Yeah, no, yeah. He's a super. He's like, I don't know him personally. You know him more, but just on TV, he's my favorite character. Like he's my favorite character or person. Marriage, and I think they're going to be married at the end of it.
I think they'll last too.
Yeah, I think because like and then like the other people, the Duhans. I don't know their names right now for some reason. It's kind of fleeting to me, but they're the black couple.
Yep.
I think they're 50-50.
Honestly, at first, when the first show started, I was like, I don't know if they're going to make it. Now that the show has gone on, they both seem to just understand each other a little bit better. Yeah. Obviously, they have their arguments. Yeah. I think they're going to make it. I think they'll be okay.
It's just regular like relationship stuff that they're arguing about. So like, it's Nate and Sheila. Yes.
Yep, Nate and Sheila, and she seems to like it.
Yeah,
I want to talk to Nate sometimes. I think he dunked on Travis.
Yeah, he's the one that dunked on Travis.
I got Travis Nella trying to deny he didn't get dunked on back in Lansing. We're going to find out. So Travis, you better make sure your story's straight.
Yep,
because we're gonna talk to Nate sometime. We're gonna find this guy.
Yeah, exactly. So Anthony, Anthony D'Amico, and then Ashley Petta. And Ashley, I hope you change your name to Ashley D'Amico, just because I know that she did not like the idea of changing her name. I think that sounds a lot better, FYI. But they're my favorite couple, and then I think the third couple, I think they're done.
Finished.
They're finished. Like
Nito.
It's like Danielle and I want to say I don't know.
I don't even know his name. Poor guy though, man. He's a nice guy, but you always hear the term "nice guys finish last."
Yeah,
man, that's true. And it's just true.
And another thing, it's Cody. His name is Cody. And another thing he does that I hate all the time, and I'm just gonna hurry up and go through this. He always talks about like not being able to kind of like just have sex in the marriage, because in the marriage everyone has had sex already except them. I'm like, bro, stop talking about it
and be about it.
Just be about it. Yeah. Like if you're gonna hook up with her, you're gonna have sex. You're gonna do like be romantic or just be real.
That's your wife, man.
Yeah, just let's take off your clothes. Let's have sex right now. You're my wife. Yeah. Be passionate, but he's talking about it and before he was talking a big game like, I can't wait to get it on, and after that, like 2 months later, still nothing. A month later, still nothing. So right now they have a couple weeks left, and they're not going to make it at all. Especially that's your wife, and you didn't get that one time. Like, come on, bro.
Honestly, I think that's been over from day one. And I feel bad from the girl. She seems kind of cool, but you can tell she's just not into this dude.
No, she's not into him. She's kind of cute too. So the fact that she's not into him, man, he's a lame, bro.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, but like I mentioned earlier, nice guys finish last, man. You can't finish last. If you want to talk about it, you got to be about it, man.
Yeah. He's nice, but the way he's approaching it is lame. So I just wish he was a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he's playing a nice guy approaching it, and it's just not going to work. Good show. Yeah. But like I said, my guy Anthony, I think him and his girl are going to be great. I like their personality. I like how they come off in the show.
No, like Anthony, like he's by far my favorite because he's authentic. He's genuine. You can tell he cares. He's like probably the most logical person when it comes to it, and then like his any issue they have, really 99% of America has those type of relationship issues. So I think that I think I think if they don't stay married, like I'm just going to just like hurt myself.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sure they'll be. I think they'll be a-okay.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Anthony. I think we're gonna try to get him on the show
sure.
once their season over.
Yeah.
He is a friend of the show.
Oh, big time. All right. So a lot of things have been popping off in the sports world, like a lot. So, and in terms of like the NBA, so let's get into the NBA real quick.
NBA's been crazy.
Yeah. So, last week we had an NBA draft. Number one overall pick was Markelle Fultz. He went to the Philadelphia 76ers. And then you had Lonzo Ball went number 2 to the Lakers. And then number 3, it was Jason Tatum from Duke. He went to the Boston Celtics. So, just off of preliminary thoughts, what were your thoughts of the draft? What are your thoughts of just like the one and done, some of the college players, as well as like European players?
What I've heard is it seems like the going consensus with executive management in the NBA is the one and done philosophy is not working. It doesn't seem to be producing the NBA talent at the rate that they want, which I will agree. The funny part, and I don't have the stat pulled up, is it seems like I think a big chunk of the first 10 to 12 picks were freshmen of this past year. So even if it's still not working, this NBA franchise are still taking a chance on these players. The glaring thing about this entire draft is there one player that you could say is going to transcend and change the NBA franchise? Maybe or maybe not. You kind of look at, Lonzo Ball. Could he be that guy for the Lakers? Boy, Magic Johnson sure hopes he could be. He's already setting him up to be, threw him a oop to be, and basically said, you better have your name in the Raptors at the end of all this. He seems to be the one guy in the draft that can just change and transcend your entire team. Fultz, maybe. He seems like a James Harden Jr. You got to remember, in college last year, his team was terrible. If you're going to have the number one pick for the entire NBA draft and your team is terrible, a little bit of a red flag. He can score. He is only, 18, 19 years old, so maybe he may mature. So in terms of overall talent, pretty good, not great. NBA draft, it was a good show. They do a good job, but I think overall everyone's kind of looking to this draft to be Lonzo Ball or bust right now, unless a sleeper pick comes up. But the Chicago Bulls, man, what are they doing? What's going on with that? Jimmy Butler got traded for a bunch of scrubs. Now I won't say scrubs, but unproven prospects. What are your thoughts on that?
So Chris Dunn, so he got traded for the Bulls. Got Chris Dunn. They got Zach Levine. And then they got Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
So from Arizona.
Yep.
And then probably like some cash. So, man, Butler, I think it's safe to say he's a top 10, top 15 player, right?
Agreed.
So I think the Bulls, they should have got another solid player for him. Maybe they should have got like Rubio. Because the thing is, like with Dunn, I'm not sold on Dunn because if you couldn't beat out Rubio.
He didn't play last year at all, barely.
Right. If you and then if you couldn't beat him out, then that's red flags right there. Even though he was like a lottery pick, and Zach, he's an amazing player, one of the top 3. He almost shot 40% from 3-pointer. He shot over 45% from the field goal percentage, and obviously 2-time dunk contest champion. So
right.
He's a great player. However, he tore his ACL last year, so his timetable to coming back will probably be sometime after January or February.
He might not be the same.
Yeah, and when he comes back, he might not be the same. And as you know, Chicago, we already been through that with like the whole Derrick Rose situation. So that was a red flag to me. And then Lauri Markkanen, the guy from Finland, he played at Arizona. I was watching all his clips. He was picking and popping from 3-point land. He's 7 foot, so he has great range on his 3-pointer. He couldn't finish in traffic. His defense was okay. However, when you're playing with a bunch of athletes, you're a big man, you can always mask, where you lack in defense in the NBA. He won't be able to mask that. So I'm not 100% sold on him. But right now, I have him as being like a Ryan Anderson. And if he turns out to be Ryan Anderson, who's a great player who can shoot, and that's a solid player and okay defensively, but he's not at that number pick. You're looking for a franchise type of player,
right? And we didn't get him.
Yeah, and I don't think we got him.
Not at all.
Yeah, because in terms of, because we think about Curry, I think Curry slipped to like 7 or 9 for the Warriors, and he's a franchise type of player. And, and as you saw, he makes a difference and he brings in and he generates a lot of income. So I don't think he's that type of player. So
not at
overall,
all.
I think the Bulls lost out. They're rebuilding right now. D Wade, I don't think he's going to play a single minute for us next year.
What? Yeah, he will, man. They need him. If they get rid of him, they might as well go 0-82.
I mean, think about it. Looking for him, like he doesn't want to just waste. Like honestly, I think this might be his.
I mean, he opted in.
This legit might be his final year.
And he may not care. I mean, he's in his hometown. He's in Chicago.
So you think all he cares about is a bag at this point?
At this point, I mean, he's not winning NBA championships unless a
3-time champion who's a competitor.
Unless he can find a way to get to Cleveland with LeBron somehow, that'll probably be it. But I don't think he's gonna go any other random city just to chase one more ring. He's gonna be Chicago, Cleveland. He's gonna ride it out in his hometown and go get his name in the Rafters and ride off with his $25 million contract. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, man.
He opted in for the season, so don't forget that he did opt in for the season.
He did opt in, but that was before the trade. Like now, like if
he cannot back out, that's the only problem.
Right. And so if he knew that this trade was going to happen and then he opted in, then that's his decision. But right now, we're left in the dark, so we don't know what he knows around that. But if he didn't know, then I mean, either we buy him out, which I doubt the Bulls would do because they're not going to take an L on this,
right?
Or they trade him, which I don't know who's going to trade him for him. Like the Cavs, like they're going to offer us like Derek Williams,
I don't know,
or Darren, or someone of that nature. So I don't know, man. Like the Bulls, they're in rebuilding mode. We're gonna suck. I don't think they're not gonna sign Rondo. We don't need Rondo in that locker room, especially with those young players. Even with D Wade there.
No.
So even like you said, even if D Wade he does stay and he plays and he's the leader, he kind of helps us play somewhat semi 500, 400 ball.
They won't be that good.
Yeah, they're not gonna be that good, but. I don't know, man. I'm interested to see, but I just know that the Bulls right now that Phil Jackson was fired this morning by the Knicks, or they separated, the heat is 100% now on the Bulls front office, and they can't hide behind the fact that they've been making horrible decisions. You'll see what happens.
And we're going to talk about Chicago sports here in a little bit, but first to get some other NBA news, we're going to talk about Chris Paul got traded, or he agreed in principle to a trade if he buys back in with the Clippers, which he's going to do, to go to the Houston Rockets and trade for Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, Sam Dekker, and a 2018 first round pick. Social media was on fire today. We talked about it. I made a Facebook post about it. It seems the going consensus is it wasn't a good move for Houston because obviously clearly they're trying to just chase big names. I think they're trying to chase big names. I almost think, the Clippers almost made out even better with that. People are trying to say Sam Dekker didn't do that well. Maybe he needs to change the scenery. Patrick Beverley, he's younger, he's quicker, he's faster, he plays better defense. Of course, he's not Chris Paul, but you got an aging Chris Paul. Also with Lou Williams, he's a great guy to come off the bench for your team as well, too. Chris Paul and James Harden, two guys that need the ball in a stacked Western Conference with the Golden State Warriors. I don't think it's going to get them over the top. Yes, it's going to help them. My guy Tim Merritt was like, you need someone who can have the ball in a Game 6 or Game 7 that won't shut down on you as James Harden did. Cool, good thought, but has Chris Paul ever showed you that he can lead your team to a championship? He's been in the league many, many years and still hasn't done it. I think matching him up with James Harden is cool. It's highlight reel material for the regular season. Come playoff time, I don't think it's going to get you anywhere. What I'm thinking is Houston is not done. They're not done making moves. If they go into this season with the roster as is, it may not help them, but they're trying to do some other moves. They're still talking about Paul George, possibly the Knicks buying out Carmelo Anthony. He can go there. I don't think they're finished, but they need to not be finished, or otherwise it won't go anywhere. What's your thoughts on that big trade right now today?
Yeah. So, with the whole CP3 thing and James Harden, it doesn't fit. As soon as that happened, I tweeted, I don't see how James Harden he'll be able to play off ball, even though they said that he knew about the trade and he was an advocate for it. But at the same time, when you're actually talking about just playing the game and having the feel for the game, I don't see him playing off ball and him flowing that way. I just he was effective in that role, but I kind of felt like this team is going to kind of flow more towards CP3 being the floor general and with this being his team, and that will cause some friction, I think, down the line. So egos will definitely have to be dealt with. And also CP3, he's undersized, he's been injured the past couple of years, during critical moments of his past team, the Clippers making the playoff run. Right. So him and Blake Griffin. So it's one of those things where I don't buy this trade. And I honestly think that At this point, these teams are starting to become like I told you, like I was texting earlier, the
in our group
WWE.
chat.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just a bunch of stables.
Yeah.
About you better have the Heart Foundation.
The
You better
NWO.
you better have NWO. You better have
DX.
DX. Yeah, you better have like all these all these different stables and stuff and
It's like who can partner up with who, man.
Yeah, and try to win like all the belts and all the championships. So honestly, I hate it. So
that's what the NBA is. Our guy
Yeah.
Dave Smith from NBC Radio, Sports Radio, he said it was awesome that everyone's kind of partner up. He's like, if you can't handle it, go with someone else and find someone else better. So I mean, I guess that's
Dave.
cool. Yeah, sorry, I kind of disagree with you, man. I remember the days of you stay with your team, you kind of like made it work. We are in a different team, a different time and age, and it seems like everyone's trying to make moves and try to make deals to get with 3 to 4 superstars on one team, only to combat the Golden State Warriors. But you got to remember, a few years back when the Miami Heat did this, and they won 2 championships, and everyone was trying to like partner up, create other stables as well too. The Heat blew up very quick, and they only lasted 2 years. Stables, right? It's not even like super teams, it's stables.
Yeah.
So they fell off real quick, and the Miami Heat, they disbanded and went everywhere else. So it's just a stage that we're in. It will end, and it will go forward as well too. But I was watching the NBA Wars, and I think, man, Drake, for as much people clown him, he's a funny guy, man. Did you watch any of it? He did a great job, I would say.
Yeah, no, Drake was funny. He fired at a lot of these dudes.
A lot of people.
However, Kenny Smith got him about not writing his own rhymes.
He did.
Yeah. So like once Kenny got him off of that, I'm like, all right, like Drake is nothing you can say, but just because Meek really kind of he won the war, in my opinion, in regards to that. But
Meek won the war?
Yeah. So yeah, but before we get into that,
I don't know if we'll ever get into that.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't like won what war?
Yeah,
but okay.
All right, so
we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, no, real quick. Drake, he had 2 songs. He won the battle, back to back, charged up, whatever, good disses. However, fast forward a couple, a year or 2 later, right now, people are questioning. People who are not even hip hop heads are joking about Drake not writing his own lyrics. So imagine what that does to a guy ego who thinks he's one of the best out in the game.
Yeah, possibly. We can talk about this another
and think
time,
about
man.
his legacy.
Yeah, that's true as well. But
So we're going to get in this in the detail.
Will. I think we will one day. We need to talk about this.
Meek, like I said, I wasn't the biggest Meek fan. Meek is your guy.
I love Meek.
But I came to learn to love Meek, and I think he won the war, but that's another convo.
We will get into that, and we're going to talk about here in a little bit how Meek's over here battling with Safarree. So I don't know what war he won when he went from Drake to battling with Safarree, as a matter of fact. But yeah, Drake did a good job at the wars. If you haven't, check out some of the clips. He had some good clips with some celebrities. It was just a good job. And shout out to Russell Westbrook, won MVP for the NBA. If he didn't win, I was going to boycott the league. But man, that's a good dude. He deserved it.
Yeah, oh no, he deserved it 1,000%, man. He's a good guy. He had all his teammates come up there, like, he was dope. And yeah, man, I think he played a hell of a season, and I hope that he can get some help for him next year, because I don't see him doing or replicating this upcoming season, just because the guy was playing a lot of minutes and you're getting triple doubles every game. I'm like, man, he has to be the most in shape athlete in the NBA. So he deserved it. Kudos to you, Russell Westbrook. You're a hell of a ball player, and I hope you can get some help.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And before we get off Chicago sports or the sports in general, we got to figure out briefly what's going on with all Chicago sportsmen. The Cubs, they're doing okay. Who's the catcher that they just designated for assignment for talking crap about Jake Arrieta for all the stolen bases that he left the other day?
His last name is Montero.
He just got designated for assignment. What's going on? They were actually just at the White House today with Donald Trump. Some of the players went, not all of them. Why are you guys going Cubs? Come on, man. You guys got to stick together. All or nothing. You guys knew you didn't need to be there, but I guess they still went anyway. Obviously, the Chicago White Sox are struggling. Chicago Bulls are clearly going in full-out rebuild mode. I mentioned the Blackhawks as well, too. Doing a lot of trades, kind of an overhaul of their team. Chicago sports, and obviously, don't let me get on the Chicago Bears right now. We don't even need to talk about them.
No.
They might be the worst in the city right now. We love our city, even though we're not from here. We're basically are Chicagoans now. We lived here for 7, 8+ years.
Taxes.
We want our teams to be great, and I don't know what all these GMs are doing. Almost clown of the week worthy, but this is our time to spread the message to you guys right now. You guys got to get it together. The Cubs won the World Series, and it seems like after that point, everything seems to be going downhill. We got to get it together. Chicago's a huge city, marketable city, Best city in the world come summertime. The culture here is great. The sports fans here are great. We need to see a winning team. And it seems like all these franchises are going downhill and it's making some skeptical decisions right now. Before we hop off that, what's your thoughts on that, B? But, man, Chicago needs to get it together.
No, like, yeah, 100%, man. Like, the Cubs, Miguel Montero, he should have never said anything about, Jake Arrieta. He's the golden boy, the golden child for the Cubs, so that was a dumb decision. He sent out a couple of tweets just stating that, he was happy to be a part of the championship team. He's gone now. So, but Cubs, they just got to get it together because right now we're hitting the point where it's getting toward, mid-season, and we have to turn it on because I need Wrigley to be lit this fall. So,
absolutely.
So just like, dude, come on, Cubs, like get it together. White Sox are washed. Blackhawks, I mean, they made a couple moves, a couple of trades. They're going to have a different product out there. The next hockey season. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they can just keep the winning culture here with the Blackhawks. Bears will be the Bears, and the Bulls. The Bulls are going to be interesting because like if the Bulls are in the West, and I would be like, all right, they're washed. But they're in the East, so there's always a chance. If these ballers, they're young, they're hungry, there's always a chance for them to do well. So the Bulls, I haven't written them off yet, 100%. So if they can just play tough, they might be 8th, 7th seed again.
Yeah, they might not be so hot next year, but I'm rooting for them, though.
Yeah, but right now, all our teams are kind of just kind of treading water.
Yeah, they are. Something's going on in the city, but man, we can't have this big letdown. Chicago's a huge city. We love our sports. The Bears, we need you guys to be good. The Cubs, we need you back in the playoffs. The good thing is the National League Central is not that great. I think as a couple days ago, they were on like a half a game, maybe 2 games out. I think we'll still make the playoffs. But right now, they're still in coast mode. Coast mode, once the All-Star break comes up, second half of the season, I think the Cubs are going to turn up as well.
Yeah, I really hope so because I love the Cubs, man. And when they were doing well, I saw an energy in the city that I've never seen before. So I'm really like hoping like we can get it together and we can get another run going.
Definitely. And I always dread this topic, but Bobby loves talking about it. What's going on in politics in 2017?
All right, cool.
What's going on right now?
All right, so the Supreme Court, they put in something to effect where like that the travel ban, like certain aspects of it, it's active now when it comes to like refugees being denied or having to delay their time getting into the city as well as the country, and then also those countries that they named before they're going to be put on the ban list. So essentially, it's a minor win for like the Trump administration, which it is what it is. Like, yeah, we got to vet people out. He was still complaining how, like, it's still super watered down and, it's not where he wanted to be. But, it's going to be interesting whenever they actually meet up and they make their final decision on it. But that goes to show you the power of him picking Neil Gorsuch for his for the Supreme Court, because that gave him, someone who was very influential in making a decision like this in order to intact portions of this travel ban. So,
right.
It's as far as the USA and just like, us bringing people in and everything, like it sucks, that this will be active. Certain portions of it will be active. However, it's to be determined. We're going to fight hard and hopefully, like the Constitution prevails and we can somehow, stop this from happening.
I don't know, man. It may or may not happen because Donald Trump's running amok.
Yeah, no, he's running amok, man.
Right now, man.
And like that whole Russian thing has lost steam. And like honestly, what I was telling people is he's going to be the president, man, until it's time up for re-election. So, like I said, it's just one of those things where the people around him,
I don't know,
all those congressmen, everyone who's up for re-election next year, those are the people that we got to focus on.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like once you kind of cut all the heads around the president, then you can focus in on him come during the 2020 election, and then if we can kind of get him out of there and bring someone in who's more level-headed. But he's all over the place, man.
Of course, man. And the bigger issue is his support has legs. I have this third-party story actually for myself. I was at Galway Bay over on Diversity in Sheridan this past weekend up in Lakeview nearby where I live. And I was at this bar on Friday night, and I think a Drake song was on or something like that. It was definitely a hip hop song. One of the back bartenders goes, turn that hip hop off. Turn that hip hop S off, like a couple times. And I went back there and I was like, bro, this guy, white boy, just tatted up. I was like, what's your problem with, hip hop music? He's like trying to say he didn't like it and all that. And I was like, I just looked at him. I could just tell, me, I have no filter. I was like, you voted for Trump, didn't you? And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, I did. And I was like, man, we need to talk sometime. You need to change your views. We need to have a chat sometime. You need to just think bigger about life. So that's the problem. Like, he has a lot of supporters, a lot of people with short-sighted views, a lot of people that are brainwashed. And it seemed like it's gaining legs for as many people that are against him. There's still a lot of people that are for him as well too. So come 2020, we're gonna have a big decision on our hands. A lot of people have some real big decisions to make. Like, if he's really not helping you, you gotta get this guy out of here. He does not care about you. You just gotta really understand that. So 2020 is gonna be a great time. But for now, just stay close to your family. Stay close to your loved ones, and just do the best you can to help make this world a better place. That's all I can say for right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's it. And man, just love each other, respect each other. Have tolerance for each other. We got a lot of nasty comments on our Instagram when we posted like that gay pride post. I deleted them.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad posts on there.
Yeah, I deleted them. People were sending us messages, and I'm like, dude, who cares what someone's sexuality is, what their preference is? Like, I don't give a damn. Like, it is what it is, and they take their time. So just respect everyone and just keep it moving. So next thing, JayZ, he drops an album this Friday.
Man,
what is it? 444.
444 is called.
Is it going to be a classic or not?
It's actually not going to be a classic. Not at all. We love JayZ. Everyone's going to be checking for it. Thing from my point of view, what you got to do going into a new JayZ album, take it for what it is. People are trying to say, he's going to be like the State of the Union address for like hip hop music. Maybe, maybe not. It's still a JayZ, an aged JayZ, a family man JayZ who runs Tidal and other big businesses JayZ. That's like expecting, like when Eminem comes out with albums nowadays. You need to be checking for Eminem for just what it is. Do not go out expecting a JayZ classic. It's not going to happen. You're going to be disappointed. Just take it for what it is. Just enjoy the moment of what it is, and just know that it's just a JayZ album. It's not going to be a classic. We already know that.
Yeah. Like, my quick take on it, is just going to be political Jay. So hopefully,
you think it is?
Yeah, it's going to be political Jay, and I hope he spits some bars here and there, and I can have some Instagram quotables.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, next up, Meek Mill Safarree. They got in a fight. Before day before, kind of, sort of, it was a scuffle, or like Charlamagne said, a kerfuffle of sorts, whatever. With Meek Mill and Safarree. So briefly, kind of give us a.
We're gonna talk about this a little bit later. The funniest part I'll say on the Safarree section was the part where he was just running away. I don't know why. It was just amusing to me. It was so funny. DJ Self was there. And then Meek and pulled up, in his big SUV out the whip. Looked like he was smirking a little bit. His crew hopped out. Let me find out that was O'Malley chasing him down the street, man. O'Malley is his goon. O'Malley always sticking up for him. Let me find out that he was chasing down the street. We're going to talk about this a little bit. Safarree needs to relax, man. He kind of had it coming for himself. Man, you can't mess with Meek Mill and his people. You're not that big, Safarree. You knew he was going to chase you. But it was just a funny episode. It was BET Hip Hop Weekend, BET Awards. Something's going to go down as well.
Yeah, man. There's just a bunch of coonery going on.
Always.
So, like, man, I'm not going to get into it because you have your hot take on that later
yeah,
on.
A little bit, for sure.
It's just like, man, Chris Brown, Meek, all you guys.
Always.
Please stay out of your own lane. Listen to your publicist. Stay out of trouble. Get your money. And just keep it moving, man. And just keep trying to move the culture forward.
It's always every year. It's always Meek. It's always Chris Brown.
Yeah.
This year's the Migos attitude. It's just like the same goons each and every year.
Because if it's like the Grammys, Oscars, Billboards, people don't do anything, coon like that. But whenever it's anything that's black owned, black made, all of a sudden people they don't give a damn. And
cats chasing each other down the street. Man. When I saw Safarree running down the street, man, I was cracking up.
Exactly.
That shit was so funny. Your boy 2 Chainz, man. I know I was ready to get you this week when I saw his projections. He was going to do like 40, 50,000.
He did over 107. He did 107.
107,000. All right.
He's a
legend.
legend.
Let it be known.
People respect him.
I do respect 2 Chainz. I'm not the biggest 2 Chainz fan, but respect him. I know that's your guy. 107,000 copies in 2017, which I know we're going to have a music sales debate of 2017 sometime soon. The fact that he did those numbers without a big single, man, 2 Chainz has definitely made it. Respect to him. I remember I saw him in Lollapalooza with Elise. I think it was like 2014, one of the stages. He killed his set. Respect to 2 Chainz. He did. I know you're happy about that.
He's not going anywhere. And like that's my guy. I've been the biggest fan. I've been a fan of his since he was Titty Boy. I remember I was high school. I was the 8th grade freshman, 2001, 2002. Like he was Titty Boy. 2002. He's Titty Boy, man, and he's doing his thing. So I'm happy to see his success, and he's not going anywhere. He's staying in the game.
Absolutely.
And the Young Thug album sales sucked. His album was dope.
It was dope.
He was
did a
crooning.
good job.
He was singing. He was on his Beyonce. It went wood, but I'm waiting for him to have an official album.
And I think that's why he can keep it to say he can do 37,000 copies an album. Every single one does that because I think he's trying to say it's still not his official album. It's like a mixtape album. And he's using that to his success. What he's probably going to do is wait till one really pops off to 100K and say that was my studio album.
Yep, exactly. So that's what's going to happen. The rules have changed in the rap game. Really,
Absolutely.
Music industry in general, the rules have changed. So
Young Thugs, I think he could be the next to blow out, kind of how like Lil Wayne did, like you mentioned back in 2008.
He's close. He just need that lollipop type of single, and then he's taking off.
Yeah, because his songs, like he just makes dope songs. I'm sorry, like if you hate on Young Thug, you got something wrong. That boy makes dope songs. He just needs a bigger audience to see it.
Facts, exactly. Also, BET Award highlights during the show. We watched it. We were live tweeting. Man. I got a lot of retweets. You got a lot of retweets. We were
cracking up. That was a funny night.
It was funny. I love New Edition. All the new additions came on there. You know, give me your quick hot take.
New edition or newer edition or the newest edition? Which one?
I was calling like the youngest edition, the young edition, the older edition.
When I saw all 30 of them on stage dancing, I was cracking up. The crazy part, they was dancing in unison. That was the best part of that segment when it's all like 30 of them on stage.
At the end of it, I was like, yo, like. These dudes they're doing it, man.
Yeah,
but the only thing I can't get out of my head is like, yo, those 20-something new editions, they really think they new editions.
No, they were. The fact is that we were clowning like the second group of new edition. They basically taking over the real new edition. They've been on tour, interviews, basically saying that new edition, even to the point where they don't even call themselves the real name no more. They're like Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. That's crazy, man. That we were cracking up. It was a funny night. BET Awards. It was a good show. The last hour of the show was a little shaky. There was a lot of like they didn't go to commercials, technical difficulties. SZA's dope, and they almost like ruined her performance. And she still came out and killed it. Leslie Jones.
She had some Shawn Michaels.
Yes, he did. If she would have gave a dance crotch chop there, I would have like died laughing for sure. But Leslie Jones, hey. She did an okay job, but next time if she ever gets to do that, stop screaming. I think it ruined the ratings. They said ratings were down from last year, but I will say everyone who won the award actually deserved it for the first time ever. They did a good job. And when did Big Sean start having choreography? When did he become a dancer? Hey, Big Sean, that's not you, man. Stop dancing.
Yeah,
just rap,
stop dancing. But he rapped his ass off. So he's great. I respect Big Sean, but Sean. You're not in sync, my guy. Man. Yeah, you're not in sync. You're not in sync, man.
I love you, B.
Like once again, you're top 3 rapper in the game, but you're not in sync.
No, his whole performance, he had the choreography going. But the problem was, you could tell like he was instead of rapping, you could tell he was thinking like 1-2 step, 1-2 step. Like he was just like still thinking of what he could do.
I thought he was a part of New Edition.
No, Big Sean, that's not your angle, man. Detroit, we don't. That's not you, man. You can rap. You're a top guy, but no.
Yeah, exactly. Also. Please tell us a quick story in regards to our local Chicago news.
Man, and I'm sorry we're kind of like rushing through this. It's kind of like our quick hits take right now, and it's very unfortunate. And the only reason I'm kind of covering this because it seems like a lot of people that I know in the industry know about this as well, and we're actually covering it as well. There was a guy who actually used to work at Underground, who was a bouncer there as well, left Bottle Blind. It seems like Bottle Blind just can't stay out of their own way.
Please shut them down.
They stay in the news. Please, exactly, like... Please shut them down. I don't want to talk about them anymore unless they're shut down. But, there was a guy who I think, what's the last name? Milder was his first name?
Yeah, it was Anthony Milder.
Anthony Milder, who I don't know as well, but it seemed like a lot of my friends knew him as well that work in the industry. Left Bottle Blind, was driving with his girl and, ended up in a crash and obviously crashing into a pole. car ended up blowing up, lighting on fire. The girl died. He fled from the scene, and then the cops a couple days later found him hanged in his apartment. I think he lived, was it Bucktown or somewhere that he lived? He was 34 years old. The girl was 21 years old. Let this be a life lesson, people. If this is our message to you, you do not drink and drive, especially in this city. I mean, there's Ubers, there's Lyfts. Take a Via for all I know. You did not drink and drive. It was a sad story. And for all those that knew him, that were friends with him, I didn't know him personally, but for all those that did, prayers go out, and let this be a life lesson. That's a bad stand on the city, of course. Bottom line, you got to get shut down. We just got to do better, people, overall right now.
No, 100%, man. It's such a sad story to see just like a young life, getting lost, because they say he was speeding down Ohio. He went into a pole. He must have left. He probably felt shamed. He probably, just because like that girl lost her life instantly.
He knew it.
And then he knew he was going to go down for some type of manslaughter, and he was going to be in jail for 10, 15 years, state prison, Illinois. It's crazy in there. So like, it was just an unfortunate situation for all families. I don't think he was a bad guy. I think people make dumb decisions, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad people. And I just feel sorry for all parties. I know that they have a GoFundMe page for her, and I just wish like the best for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's just a sad story, man.
Definitely. It's very sad. And especially in this city. This is the one city where you don't need a car. You can take Uber. You can take taxi. You can freaking take the bus. You can take the train. There's a lot of places and things you can do where you don't have to drive. As other big cities or random cities in the country, you may have to drive to get places. You don't have to here. So when I hear these stories, this almost like makes me mad. Like there's other ways, there's other avenues. And I know people get messed up at night. It's a big city, but you just need to do better to see Chicago and let this all be a learning lesson to you.
Oh, absolutely. And just to let people know, the GoFundMe page is for 21-year-old Alejandra Damian of Joliet. So, last name Damian, first name Alejandra, Alejandra. So there's a GoFundMe page. I think their goal was 15,000. They're at 10 or 11,000. So go ahead and donate money. And it's just a sad situation overall.
Good call. Yeah, definitely. We love our city, Chicago. We just want great things to happen.
Please call Uber.
Well, good. Thank you. But we got to go into some of that. Back to the coonery. Back to clowning people before we wrap up here. Clown of the week. I think you went first last week, so I think I need to go this week.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Clown of the Week, our favorite segment. I think everyone, we get a lot of reviews on this. People talk about this a lot. They love to see who we're going to get Clown of the Week. This one pains and shames me to have to do. We mentioned this earlier. But my guy, Meek Mill, first time ever, I have to get Clown of the Week. Please don't send your goons after me when you hear this one day. I still love you, but let this be, like Charlamagne say, a teachable moment. You are a big rapper. You've done a lot of big things in your city, in your career. You made great waves and paved way just through this industry as well. You're on probation right now. I know you got beef with Safarree over Nicki Minaj, and you guys aren't even together anymore, so that's foul number one. Why are you still beefing with a guy when neither one of you guys are dating Nicki Minaj any longer? You're on probation. You're starting to make good music. That song you got out with Chris Brown and who else is on it? Is it Ty Dolla? I don't know who it is, but that song is dope that I hear on the radio. Fire, straight fire. You got a good poppin' single.
It's a Tony Tone sample.
Yeah, it's a dope song. It is fire. You're back in the scene. You're slowly, progressing, making your way. Joe Budden always says, since you got rid of Nicki Minaj, you're back in the lane. You're back being Meek Mill, and you're making the right moves. Like, I understand, you got your goons with you. You're not cool with Safarree. You knew he was in L.A. You kind of warned him not to be seen out in public to where he can find you. But why are you taking that chance, no matter what, of even being at risk of being put in trouble? Yeah, what happened. If Safarree, he may be a sucker. He may not. He may try and sue you. He may go to the cops. It's already caught on video, and the PO back in Philadelphia do not rock with you. They're looking for ways to get you in trouble. Don't let them pin this on you, man. You just need to let this be a teachable moment. I know you're Meek Mill. You're trying to have that big, persona about you. Right now, you just need to focus on the music. You need to focus on your career. Just don't let it happen, man. And I love you a lot. I think I rock with you. I always tell B for years. I rocked with you since 2012 with a couple other rappers, and I think you're just the future, and you can really rap. You keep it real, and I respect that. But right now, you need to stay out of your own way. And whoever his PR is, his team is, help him stay out of his own way. For the teachable moment fact of this, Meek Mill, you got to get the Clown of the Week. But hey, I can't wait to drop some more new music, and that album this summer better be fire. Let's do it, bro.
Yep, exactly, man. Meek, like he's become my guy, and he's a boss When you're a boss like that, you can't be involved in those type of situations, man. Like, you got a lot of people who are depending on you to eat, and, you know, you got to move correctly. And that was just an ugly look. But
definitely.
Yeah, so my clown of the week.
Who's yours, B?
Phil Jackson. You know, former GM of the New York Knicks, former 6-time champion head coach of the Chicago Bulls, and also, you know, 4-time champion coach of the LA Lakers. So Phil's like a 10-time champ. Yeah. Like, he's like 10 or 11. So anyway, don't fact check us. Alternative facts. Phil Jackson, you know, you're a legend. I respect you. Granted, you had some of the best players to ever play the game. Kobe, Shaq, and obviously, you know, the best player of all time, Michael Jordan. And you essentially wrecked the New York Knicks. I mean, you know, you brought in Carmelo. You know, you gave him a no-trade clause, which is asinine. You know, very rare clause to have in professional sports in general. You know, you drafted Kristaps Porzingis, which, you know, people were down your throat about it. However, you know, he became a great player. You know, we like to call him a quote-unquote unicorn. But however, a lot of the moves you've made, bringing in Derrick Rose, you know, I think bringing in Amari at one point during the tail end of his career, Courtney Lee, you know, all those guys. It's just like, dude, like, you know, honestly, you've just become a senile old man. You've ruined a franchise. The Knicks are supposed to be competitors every year. They're in New York City. New York is the epicenter of the world when it comes to just media, when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to anything. You know, it's New York City. Everybody knows New York City. And for you to have all those funds at your hands, the owner, James Dolan, granted, he's very he's an incompetent owner as well. However, you know, you have all the money, all the tools, the keys, and you still somehow cannot manage to make sure that the Knicks are a playoff team. I'm giving you the clown of the week because you have literally brought in the darkest cloud ever in the history of the New York Knicks. And right now, I honestly think that they're going to be the worst team in the NBA.
It could be
this upcoming season because I don't know who they have. You guys drafted a Frenchman. Granted, that Frenchman could have been nice. He could be nice.
He's 18.
But he's 18. He's only played in the French league. You know how the European players go. They average 6-7 points a game. However, you know, it's all on potential and their skill set. And, dude, like, you've left the Knicks in shambles. So you're getting the clown of the week for being one of the biggest scammers in sports history. You're number one.
Who's number two?
Number two, I had Chip Kelly. And number three, I had Lane Kiffin.
Phil, man.
You are the biggest scammer in sports history, and you're a legend. We respect you. You're a 90s icon. You coached the most prolific, best player of NBA basketball history. However, what you're doing in the 2000s, you just a senile old man, and we got to move on from you. And I don't think you're ever going to have an NBA job again.
He's done, man. He's
done, man.
He is, and I think he's going to ride off in the sunset in the wrong way. And honestly, he probably just doesn't care. But sorry, Phil.
If he's smart, he needs to get back with Jenny Buss and just retire and chill and just marry her and just relax.
Absolutely. So make sure you check out a top 100 iTunes comedy podcast. It's great to hear us say that only 9 episodes in, when many people just doubted us, and we're just gonna keep doing our thing. Make sure you check us out, alternativefactchicago@gmail.com, Instagram Alternative Fact Chicago, Facebook Alternative Fact Chicago, Twitter AFact Chicago. We're always on it, very engaging. We respond to you. We keep it current. We keep a topic with you as well. So just hit us up as well on my personal Twitter, Bobby's personal Twitter as well, too. Anywhere you can find us. Reminder and remember, we are looking for a possible potential third host for the show, preferably one with just add the added effect, too. So we thank you all for the support. It's been a great ride. Only 9 episodes in. Our next one is our 10th anniversary, man. Great day. We got a lot coming up. This is only the beginning. We got some good things coming for the next couple of months, so make sure you tune in. What else you got to say, B?
All right, man. That's it. Yeah, thank you for the support. We appreciate you. This is episode 9. We've been lit. We're one of the best up and coming podcasts. We appreciate the support to the haters who doubted us, that tried to smear our names,
absolutely,
slander us. Forget you guys. We don't care about you because we know as long as the content's good, content is king. Our fans rock with us. We're going to be in a good position of success, and we're going to put Chicago on our back, and that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely. So this is Alternative Fact Chicago. This is B. Hun with my guy Bobby.
And we're out.
All right. Have a good one, people.
All right. Peace.